Hello. I'm just, I found myself really quickly today. Hi, Linda. I'm just trying to set up. I'm just waiting for Tegan to, there she is. Okay. Send invitation. All right. I think we possibly could have two of us in a second. Let's see if we can work this technology out. And I will just move my cord. Just bear with us. This is the first time we've done this before. So just trying to, it's adding you, Tegan. It says adding. Hi, everybody. Just bear with Tegan and I. We are just trying to work out how to do this. And waiting for Facebook to,
I'm here. Can you hear me? Oh, why didn't it turn?
I don't know how I'm going to do this. I can hear you through my phone. All right. Hi, Linda. Can you tell me if you can hear Tegan? Tegan, you might need to talk.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
I can hear you through my phone.
I'm having some camera issues. Hang on.
That's all right. That's all right. Yes, you can hear her. Okay. So I don't know how to turn you off my phone. I might just turn you all the way down. Just bear with us, ladies.
First time, right?
Yeah. No, I've turned you all the way down and it won't. Oh, hang on, maybe. Oh. Okay, could you still hear me then? No. Okay. Might leave that like that and I'll just have to deal with it. All right. Can you bring your camera down a little bit, Tegan?
I can.
I'll just have to deal with it.
Oh.
Oh. Okay. Oh. And I probably need to go over a little bit. Sorry about the glare, girls. All right. While Tegan is setting up, I'll start and say hi, everybody. Welcome to our first joint live. Can you zoom down more, Tegan?
Yep.
You're really far away.
It's coming.
Okay.
It's a new. Yeah, it's very tight. Oh, there we go.
Your IT support has arrived.
It has. Okay, how's that? Oh, there's a delay.
Yeah, no, it's. Yep, that's better. All right. So welcome everybody to our first joint live. Thank you for bearing with it. Yeah, I thought that, Linda. We'll have to work on Tegan's first live. We'll have to work on her camera appearance from above.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us and bearing with us with our IT. We did test it before, but we obviously haven't done it as one of us, as Natalie May. So bit of technical problems, but it looks like we are good. So I'm just trying to move a little bit so that I can see where my screen is. And
I've just read Linda's comment.
What was that, Tegan?
I've just read Linda's comment.
I know. I hope there's no feedback. I am just going to turn you up. We might have to I think I've turned you up. We might have to see if there's another way of doing it so you can hear each other. So ladies, welcome. So tonight Tegan and I are going to be doing a joint live, and we're going to do something. We've picked some products that we're going to do a project or two with. And Tegan, do you want to tell them what we're using to share?
Yeah, absolutely. So Naomi and I tonight are going to be using some of Nat's awesome products, but we're also going to be working on tags because, as you're all well aware, I'm pretty much tag obsessed, and it is Naomi's fault actually. But I'm excited because we're using the new Art by Marlene tags, which are the wider, shorter tags. So I haven't cracked my packet open yet, so I'm excited to use them. But to complement them and do our backgrounds and things, we're actually also going to be using the Lindy's Magical Sprays. So the set I've chosen to use is called Caribbean Cruise Flat, and they're flat colours. And Naomi's going to use a different set to show you how you can we're going to use a couple of different techniques to show you how you can use these great sprays.
Cool. And I'm actually not using a set. I've just picked out some colours from my big stash that I have. We are Tagaholics, Susan. That's right. So I've decided that I haven't done any Father's Day cards yet. So I'm doing some Father's Day tags. So I picked, and I know you're all going to be shocked, but I have browns and coppers in there with some blues.
I'm so sure.
I know Tegan's using the brights. I'm using, so we are using Lindy's sprays. Just to give you a bit of information about them. So different to Lindy's Magicals, and there's different types. So as Tegan said, she's using the ones which are flat. So she has no shimmer. They're similar to Lindy's Magicals, where you can get the flats and you can get the shimmer ones. There's a few differences. So looks like I've picked mostly ones with shimmers. So I've got, and I'll just go through my colors because mine's not a set, but I've got the Steampunk Sepia, which I think it's a Starburst spray. So these come as a powder, and you just add your own liquid to it, and it's cheaper for shipping, and it's cheaper for the weight of your shipping, because you add the liquid when you get it, and then you just add it as lukewarm and you fill it up. So I've got that one. My other colors that I've got is Cowabunga Copper. Good if you've already got it set up and you have them sitting on your shelf for a bit. Always give them a good shake if you're using Starburst ones, because the shimmer and the mica powder sit on the bottom. I've got out all my favorite blues. Iceberg Azure. So these are all shimmer ones. Penguin Play Periwinkle. Time Travel Teal. I know you've all seen Nat use that one. I've also got a Narwhal Navy. Shake that up. And this one is a different one. So these are Moon Shadow Mists. And I only have, from what I can see on my shelf, maybe one. I probably have to add to my collection of those. Oh, thanks, Susan. Hi, Karen. So the difference in the Moon Shadow is that they have an underlying color. So this one is blue, as you can see. I just have to keep looking up to make sure I'm in the right spot, because the camera's a bit different to where it normally is. And actually, I might just move me over a bit, because I'm really far off that's better. Now I'm in the middle. And this has a brown shimmer through it. So when it dries, the underlying color is blue, and the shimmer is a browny copper color. So you'll find Moon Shadow Mists, they have two different colors in them. The other thing that we're going to be using tonight, that we've both chosen, that Tegan's chosen, that we're going to use, that's the same. Hi, Marianne, is Don't Overthink It stencil, probably a favorite with lots of people. Obviously, we're using Natalie May scrapbooking stencils, and this one is Dots and Dashes,
Marks and Dots.
Marks and Dots. I know there's a similar one that Claire has that's Dots and Dashes. So this is the Natalie May scrapbooking one. They are slightly different. So let's go. Now, before I start, I have got something prepared but earlier, and I'm going to move my sprays up. So I'm actually going to start, and I'll explain what I'm doing and why I'm doing that. Then Tegan can do what she's doing. So I'm actually going to use some texture paste tonight. And I'm going to use this one and my texture paste. So I use Chromacryl texture paste in this big chunky jar. And all I'm going to do is swipe it through. So I'll let Tegan take over why I do that.
Awesome. Thanks, Naomi. I love Naomi's use of magicals and any sort of texture paste. So I would consider myself a novice when it comes to using Lindy Gang magicals. Naomi's very much the pro. I've got 2 sets of the sprays. I've got one that's the flat that I'm going to use tonight. And I do have a shimmer set with like the mica powder in. And they're all my browns and the colors I tend to go for because I do love steampunk. And they're really beautiful and they shimmer really gorgeously. But I've just done a little swatch of the colors I'm using. So in the Caribbean set, we've got this beautiful Caribbean blue and luscious lime. Greens are my absolute favorite. We've got hibiscus rose, mango mania, and pineapple paradise. I want to apologize. I've noticed that I've got a big shadow coming over my board, but I can't actually move my light down. So I want to apologize for that. I will work on that before I do another live with you guys. So the technique I'm going to do tonight is a little bit more of a beginner's guide for those who are just starting out with sprays and might not be as confident or as clever as our Miss Naomi is with them. And I'm just going to do some simple spraying through these 2 stencils. You're going to see very quickly that Naomi and I differ. She cleans her stencils, and as you can tell, I do not. The reason I'm cleaning
my stencil, and everyone should do it, is texture paste will stick to your stencil, and it will eventually, over time. These Lavinia mats or the rubber mats are great, by the way, because everything just wipes off them. But if you leave your texture paste on it over time, it will eventually build up, and it will change the shape of your stencil. So because I don't have a bucket of water in my craft room, I'm cleaning it with lots of baby wipes.
I know, and I've spoken to some lucky people that have like a sink in their craft room, which I'm very jealous of. Yeah. But yeah, especially with fine details, you all want any sort of paste or thick medium you use through a stencil, you definitely want to wash. But I haven't with just acrylic paints and things like that. Naomi will be proud. I did start off cleaning them pretty thoroughly, but then I just got distracted and I wanted to keep doing my craft and I didn't want to have to pause. So I got a little bit lazy. So what I'm going to do is do some spraying through the stencils. What I really love about this one, especially if you're working with tags, you can use one stencil with the 2 separate designs and go over your 2 tags at the same time. And these ABM Up by Marlene tags, look at that, it's perfect size for a double stencil like this, which is really cool. So I'm going to start spraying, and I think I'm going to go in first with my hibiscus rose. Always want to have just a sheet of paper towel ready to go for this part, because as well as spraying through the stencil, I'm then going to use the excess spray on the stencil and turn it over and do a stamp as well. So I like to have my tags nice and handy so I can do a quick swap over.
Or a puppy training pad.
Or a puppy training pad. It's a really quick way of making multiple backgrounds in sort of quick succession, especially for cards, tags, and other smaller projects, things like that. So I'm just going to get my spray, hold my stencil down. There's a bit of fluff that I'm going to remove first. Probably some dog hair from my darling dogs. And I'm just going to spray through lightly like that and pick my stencil up. I'm going to be careful with my stencil because I want to use this excess paint to do a stamp in a minute. So I'm just going to move those 2 aside to dry. Put 2 more tags down. And then I'm going to flip my stencil over and lay it down. So I'm now going to grab my paper towel or puppy paint training pad or any sort of thing that you've got, and I'm just going to press down. You can see that colour's coming through the other side. And I'm just going to let it sit there for a moment. But because I don't just want a pink background, I'm now going to spray through my stencil again.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Sharon. One of the most important lessons I learned with the sprays is after you've sprayed, grab a wet wipe or a paper towel and just wipe the nozzle. I did have to replace 2 of my spray nozzles because I wasn't doing that, and they do get clogged. So after you spray, give it a little wipe. And now I'm
Why Tegan's doing that? Oh, sorry, Tegan.
No,
we'll have to get used to doing lives together. I'm actually using my magicals with my paintbrush. So I'm going straight in and I'm making one background, which has nothing on the tag. These tags are quite good. I put a bit of water in there and I'm just using them like a paint, dipping straight into my bottle and going straight on there. I will get the browns on. So building backgrounds first.
So I've stamped it and then I came in with the green spray through the stencil again. So I've actually got both effects on these tags, the stamp and the spray through. So I'll pop them aside.
The good thing about the magical sprays, sorry, the Lindy sprays, not magical sprays,
is
they're good for flicking. So you can create lots of different interests just by flicking the nozzle. Now I'm going to get my heat gun out in a second to dry this background, and one I prepared earlier with my texture paste, it's not quite dry. Now they will curve up and it's because we've got liquid on them, but they'll flatten down, especially if you're using some light paper. You might find that they'll curl up and they might not go back down, but these, although they're not mixed media tags, they're definitely 200, I think they're 200 GSM. Is that what your container says, Tegan?
Yeah, let's have a quick look.
200 GSM, so they've got 300. Oh, yep. There you go, 300 GSM. So definitely got enough weight to them to take a bit of liquid. So I'm just going to dry these off. Now I have one I prepared earlier and the other one. So I'll just dry them off quickly.
And while Naomi's doing that, I'm just going to move to some different colours. I'm going to go orange this time, and I'm also going to use the Don't Overthink It stencil, which is one of my absolute favourites. And I also have the Don't Overthink It stamp set, and they complement each other really nicely in projects. Oh, lost my wipey doody. Hey. Heat guns to dry the Lindies, but I do think, especially with the shimmery ones, it's better if you leave them dry natural.
That's true.
Curls the tags less as well. Yeah.
Obviously, we don't have that luxury being live on Facebook.
No.
I often will sit here and just do a whole heap of backgrounds, cut them into either just tags, or I cut them into 4x6s for card fronts. Oh, hi, Caddy. And just play with my magicals. So I've just got, and I put a baby puppy training pad down on the ground, and I go to town. It's also good to dry from underneath when you're using texture paste or anything liquid. It also helps the curves of the tag. As you can see, this one's dried out almost well. If you find that your item, whether it's a tag or whatever you're using, has not flattened, you can pop it. Will flatten overnight if you're naturally drying it, but you can pop it between 2 books, or if you've got a laminator. Oh, hi, Ian.
Oh, hi, Ian.
If you've got a laminator, I have a laminator, and the only thing I've ever laminated is my Nellie Mae scrapbooking sign that you just saw before. But I run these through my laminator and it flattens them out. not good idea for anything with texture paste, but if it's just got the magicals on it, definitely can run it through your thing. So I don't know, Tegan, if this is live on your Facebook as well, because you're on here, or if it's just on Nats. Anyway, I guess we'll see that after.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure.
Nope, me either. This is new to us all.
Maybe
All right.
Ian can tell us how he found us.
Yeah.
So
okay, so I've
Ian's
got
a very
two
good friend
here
of
that
mine.
are dry with texture paste. Now, how do I know that texture paste is dry? You just feel it. If you're not getting anything on your hands, it's dry enough to put something on. You'll sometimes find if you're using an embossing gun to dry with, that your texture paste can bubble. That's pretty cool. Sometimes you get more of texture and it can give you a very different look. Sometimes I like it to do that. But with the Ranger heat gun, it doesn't do that because it's lesser. It's still heat, but it's not as direct as those embossing powders. So now I'm going to put some sprays through my stencil here, and one of them I'm going to spray on. And I don't have a I do have probably training pads. Oh yeah, I do. I'm going to pop one on.
And I'm just going to keep alternating, spraying through my stencils. So this time I'm swapping my stencil over. So I've got my marks on this side and my dots on this side going over the opposites, just to give a more interesting background. And Naomi, don't freak out, but I'm going green and pink.
Wow. That reminds me, Mad Hatter. I've just put a piece of paper up in front of where my computer goes so that I don't spray onto that. So like Lindy's Magicals, it is a permanent pigment powder. So make sure that you are wearing your Natalie May Scrapbooking apron. Oh, hi, Matt. It says, Facebook said Tegan is live with.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. There
Thanks,
you go.
Ian.
Or maybe next time we do it, we could do it as your page.
Oh,
or you can do it and I do it as my page. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll alternate.
Good idea.
All right. So I'm going to spray on here. Yeah, as I said, they're pigments. So you can see Tegan's got pink fingers because she's going to have to wash her hair to get that off. It does come off, but it won't come off close. So make sure that you are wearing appropriate clothing or an apron. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to get in with, no, I haven't got the browns out yet. I'm building up to them. All right, I'm going to start with Periwinkle. I might do Periwinkle and Iceberg Azure. All right, and I'm just doing... And what you'll find with texture paste is if you lift it, it will gather in the gaps. And I'm going to go in with that. This one is the Iceberg Azure. I think I already used that colour, but that's okay. And then I'm going to move it around. I purposely didn't put the texture paste everywhere because I only just wanted it in the corners. And the other thing about puppy training pads, if you go to use your heat gun on there, it will fray them, which isn't probably an issue, but it's actually kind of cool to watch it fray with the heat gun. But it will disintegrate them if you're trying to reuse again and again.
Yes, yes. And they've got that that substance on the inside, the same as nappies, that like absorbent gel stuff. Yeah.
Yep. All right, so there's one. And I'm going to pop that down here. And then this one, I'm going to go, I might go with my moon shadow. but I'm going to paint this one on. And no, I'm not going to paint it on. I'm going to put this narwhal navy. At least I picked colours I can pronounce today. Oh, hi, Linda. Welcome all the way from Norway. That's so cool. I love that you can watch us. Yeah, the joys of Facebook. You know, some things did advance in COVID, and connecting virtually was one of them. All right, so I'm going to use my little Lindy's water mister. So I'm just going to spray a bit of water on here, just to give me a bit of a base. Now, all I'm going to do here is I'm going to, because this is quite a dark colour, I'm just going to touch my brush in a few spots so I can control a bit more, and I'm not going onto the texture paste. I'm going around it. And I'm hoping that it will just gather around it. I've only got a tiny bit going there. So make sure you put your lid back on. Don't want to spill those babies.
No, oh my gosh, that would be a mess.
Tegan, those colours look so cool.
Yeah, the orange and pink is good, right?
So if you've just joined us, oh, hey Mel, hey Robin. If you've just joined us, I'm Naomi. I'm one of the brand ambassadors, and I've been with Natalie for a while. Tegan's one of the new brand ambassadors, and Tegan's also new to Lindy's. So we thought we would show you different levels of, I'm a brand ambassador for Lindy's. I'm a designer for Lindy's, brand ambassador for Natalie May. So I've been doing Lindy's for a while. I still learn stuff. There's still heaps to learn. And Tegan is showing you what she's worked out how to do with stencils and Lindy's sprays. All right.
Some of mine to dry, and then I'm going to put a bit of a spray over the top without a stencil. I'm going to use the yellow just to sort of, I want to keep some white in the background, but I also want just some splashes of yellow through to complement these colours. So instead of holding over like this, like I did with my stenciling, I'm just going to hold it a little bit further back and just do a misty spray like that. I'm not sure if you can tell how well that worked on camera. I'll bring it up a bit higher. But that's now got sort of that yellow over the top of those colours. Oh, this shadow is horrible on my light. I'm very sorry.
We'll give you a pass for your first one,
my first time?
Yeah, thanks. Don't do it again.
one time only pass.
Yeah. Tegan and I have also known each other for when the boys were 9 years. The boys were 5 and they're now 14.
Yeah.
So our boys started playing in the same football team, and now we work in the same building. So it's funny. Canberra is a small place.
Very small.
And my sister is Tegan's boss.
Yes,
to make it even more funnier.
And she loves reminding me of that.
Yes. All right, so I'm really only adding like the very tip of my brush onto this page and just letting the water and the pigment just move around on its own.
And as I'm swapping colours, I'm just being careful of which colour combinations I'm using, because obviously spraying, I've made a nice wet mess on my mat, and I don't want to use brown tonight, so I'm just wiping in between.
I know, we've had a personality swap with our colours, haven't we?
We have. I'm going all the brights. That's normally your thing.
I know. Look, I won't do it often, but I am making these Father's Day things, so you know, unless it's bright green,
my husband probably won't want to see it, and I don't know what the father-in-law and the father will want, but they're getting blues and browns.
Well,
and I do have some focal point. I did have focal points in mind as well when I was creating that. All right. So that's pretty cool.
Hello, Nat.
Yeah. Oh, hello, fabulous boss lady. She hates it when we call her that.
Miss Boss Lady.
Look at us. We've gone live on. We've worked it out. There was a little bit of, fumbling and cleavage at the beginning, but hey, here we are.
We got there in the end, which is the main thing.
All right, so I'm going to bring in my moon shadow mist now. And the camera will not do this color justice, but the moon shadows, I know Nat's got, you can buy them individually, but I know there's a set on there. All the tech, Matt, yeah. Matt. So Matt is Tegan's husband, and he's her IT support for the night.
I've got him on standby, but he still can't help me with this light and shadow.
That's all right. You'll fix it next time.
Yes.
Meanwhile, my husband's watching the football, which is where he normally is on a Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Who's playing tonight?
I don't know. I can't hear him yelling.
Yeah, I don't think the Raiders are playing.
Is it no, it's not the Raiders. Is it Wayne Bennett and is it the Broncos and the Dolphins or something? I don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
So you can't see that yet, but sorry, I did say, I got these wrong before. It is a brown with a blue shimmer. So you can see that the brown's already on there, or it's a bit of a sepia color. But there is a blue shimmer in there as well. So that will dry really nicely. I'm actually really happy with that one for now. So I might just pop that one aside. I like a bit of white space.
That texture paste looks really great with them.
Yeah, it's no one important is playing, says the Sharks fan.
Well,
all right, now I'm going to go.
Not a Sharks fan.
No,
he might have lost a bet.
Oh, right.
Yes.
I see. This is the friend. Yeah. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring in my copper, cowabunga copper, and I'm going to paint onto my stencil. Cowboys in Melbourne. Thank you, Linda. I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to pop my paintbrush straight into my bottle. It's already made up. And I'm going to do a little bit of painting on my stencil. I'm not being particular. I'm just getting the color on. I can see exactly where it is. There's a little bit of spraying happening off the side here. That's okay. And I'm not using the whole thing, so I'll just do a little bit. Now, before I stamp, I want to have a piece of paper towel handy so that I'm painting and stamping with it. Oh, yes. Love that. That's going to be lovely when it dries. All right, we'll just keep going a little bit more. Oh, hey, Wendy. Hey, Susie. Welcome to the party. The joint live. This is me supporting Tegan in her first live. Just in case you got camera shy. Yeah, not in the same room. We're in different houses.
Yeah.
Just in case you got camera shy. We all know I can talk under wet cement with a mouthful of marbles. So,
I've got to learn from you how to do that. I'm getting semi-distracted watching your techniques, though. I did already show off more than I intended to, so
Oh, has the Paralympics started? I didn't know that. Oh, that was a better stamp. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So I do like to clean my magicals. I mean, I clean my stamp my stencils anyway, but Magicals will stain a bit.
Yeah.
I'm just going to add a few little splatters.
They're also much easier to wipe off than acrylic paint.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But definitely using two of my favourite stencils tonight. I really, really love the Marks and Dots. I think it's a really versatile stencil for whatever you're doing. I use it a lot with lots of different techniques, including using the Lindy sprays. Texture paste works really well. I really like the line effects with some texture paste. I've used that before in some journals and some pages as well. But since going to the retreat and picking up my Don't Overthink It stencil, it is now definitely my most used stencil. I really, really love this one because it gives a really beautiful effect, but in lots of different ways. So the way Naomi's just stamped it there looks very different to the way I've got it in some of mine here with the spray throughs and the layers. I also really love using the, what is it? Is it ghosting technique, Naomi?
Yep.
Where you put the black paint over some colour and then pull it back with a wet wipe.
Yep.
This stencil does a beautiful, beautiful effect with that technique.
I agree.
So I'm just going to show you how many backgrounds I've just done in a pretty short amount of time.
I said I was doing 2 and I've done 3, so you know.
I've done a few more than 3. But that's why this technique, as I said at the start, is really great, because you can 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I've done 10 tags, backgrounds for tags in a very short amount of time. And the technique I've shown
so
really
bright.
And so bright, so colourful. Some of them are still a little bit damp, and as you can see, as Naomi said, they've got the curl going on. But you know how to look at that and fix that now.
So I'm just going to dry mine off a bit with the heat gun, and then I'm going to do stuff with them. Finish my background, do stuff. And I'll bring it up to camera to show you the shimmer as well that's sitting through this texture paste. Now, if you liked the colours that Tegan's using, but you wanted them in a shimmer, you could use some fairy fluff. So I used some fairy fluff on a post I did, I think. Yeah, my last Lindy's post, I used some fairy fluff, and it's basically like a silver, it's just one colour. It's not a colour, it's a silver. So it adds shimmer to your flat ones, if that's what you want. You can also just use it like it is, and it just gives a silver shimmer. I think I painted one of the mono butterflies cuttables and just put that over the top, and it just gave it a silver shimmer. It's almost like a white silver. All right, last one. So, Tegan, why don't you bring a couple of yours up to camera and show everyone a bit closer?
Sure. Let's see how I can coordinate that. How's that? That's probably one of my favourites.
Hold one up closer to the camera.
Can you hear me, Naomi?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, you can?
I've got you through my phone.
Oh, that's
I can
right.
hear you. I don't know why it's doing that.
Yeah. This is probably my favourite one, the pink and green combination that I've done tonight. But this is the Don't Overthink It stamp, and then I put the dot stencil over the top. This one I also really like. It looks like cobblestones. And this is just mixing the stencils again, just giving that opposite effect with the beautiful big circle pieces and then the lines across. These ones, I'm not sure how I feel about. Didn't really turn out the way I was hoping they would, but that's okay because it's the first layer, and we can build on that with some, stamping and some focuses. But I'm just going to pick a couple because I'm obviously not going to create with all of these tonight. I think I'm going to use definitely those two. And maybe
but just while Tegan's picking, I'm going to grab this one and drip some of this brown. I know, I'm using brown. Nope, I need some water. Just letting that run through. Only a few drips is all I need because it's got strong pigments in them. Just to add that little touch of rust, I guess. That's what I think of when I use browns. I'm rusting it, which is okay because the focal points that I picked need a bit of rust. All right, and I'm just going to splatter a bit of that nozzle, and that one is done too. And we can move on to what we're going to do with these. All right, I will put that one away and do that one off camera, and I'll use my 2 dry ones. So I'm going to bring in this stencil now and add to this one, and I'll just move my paper now that I'm not spraying. So I've grabbed out some oxide inks, and I'm going to add some marking to the oxide inks. And what am I going to add it with? Oh, a stencil brush might help. All right. I've got the Lavinia stencil brush. I'm hoping that it's clean. Questionable. All right, I'm going to start with Uncharted Mariner because I'm keeping with those blues. And I'll add some. So I'm using oxide, but I'm not going to activate it. I'm literally doing it for some marks.
See which one I want to go here. So I am using Natalie May's fantastic cuttables. One of my favorite sets is the Mod Girls in color. So these are my last 4, so I'm going to have to order some more of these. Next time I'm going to get the black and white versions too and use some Lindy's Magicals, some sprays, and even the Dina Wakley scribble sticks to do some colouring of my own. But I'm just deciding, I think these colours complement the colours I've chosen tonight for my tags. So I'm just going to decide which ones I want to go there. And then I'm going to come in with some stamping over my background layers. So I think I like her for that one. I'm not sure. This is the one, Naomi, I think looks like your mum.
Which one?
This one.
Oh, yeah. Tegan told me that one. She's like, I think this one looks like your mum.
It does. Actually, I'll have to show Simone.
Yes, you will.
She'll get a laugh out of that. So Nat has some fabulous cuttables, not just the Mod Girls, but she's got themed cuttables for Easter and things like that. She's got this great set as well, which I think it's called Find Your Own Tribe or something similar. Just some really funky characters that give beautiful pops of colour. So go and check out the cuttables. They're a really great focal piece, especially for smaller projects like cards and tags. And I definitely need to do another order because I am nearly out of all of my cuttables.
Yeah, I'm getting low on mine too. I think it's because I use them all the time. I seem to have a lot of butterflies left. Only because I think I don't want to cut them.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just going in now with some walnut stain, and I'm going to use the circles. I'm just going to add a bit of
I know Naomi showed these off before, but these tins, these storage tins for the archival mini inks, they're just so excellent. They're really, really great.
What'd you say?
So glad you got me onto them. So I'm going to use, my first stamp is Circle Marks by Funky Fossil. So I'm just going to bring that over the top in Majestic Violet in an archival ink, just to create another layer. I'd be interested to hear how you all store your stamps as well. As you can see, I keep mine sort of in the plastic sleeves. But I know lots of people have really unique ways of storing and keeping their stamps.
I have to say, I think I've changed my way. I store my stamps about 6 times, and I'm still not happy.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I've got a custom built wardrobe, and it's still I still don't like it.
Or does that just mean we're never going to be satisfied, Naomi?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, unless I had a little hut like Claire that I can just leave them out.
Yeah,
Claire's little hut's fantastic.
I really love the storage bags, but the retreat bag that we got from Natalie May's last retreat. I'll see if I can't take up too much camera space. I actually have all my mark making stamps in here, so the ones that I tend to go to and grab the quickest. Yeah, it just sits on my craft trolley, so they're right at hand.
Oh, that's a good idea. I might do that.
I've been quite happy with that, actually. And then the rest of my stamps are on a shelf behind me in those. Are they Totally Tiffany storage bags?
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to do some stamping now too, and I'm using Shock Horror. I'm addicted to this stamp, but I'm using Seth Apter's ESA 40. It's one of the new ones that came out. And I'm just going to create some, I use this one so much, but I think I'm going to use this liney one for this, and maybe that one. So I'm going to grab my black. Oh God, I've got so many sprays out there in my way now.
Yeah, I put mine to the side.
And I will use a mini. I do love my mini paper artsy minis, and I have a bucket load of those too. They come in and out all the time, so I don't think this one's available, but there's always different word ones, script ones, and they're super cute to use as well. Oh, now I'm using black archival ink, and I'm just gonna create some crazy marks. This is looking really messy, but I have a plan for this one, so bear with me.
So I'm going to come in now with the Nat May stamp, and it is the stamp that matches the stencil we use. So it's the Don't Overthink It stamp. So it's the same pattern as the stencil, but I'm going to come in with the stamp now. And it does give a really different effect using it as a stamp. And I'm going to go over this tag that I've just done the dots, marks and dots on. Because I'm most likely going to turn mine into tag books, I like some sort of cohesion and sort of a similar theme throughout it. So I try to use the same or similar stamps as we go through. Not always, but just a couple of pages that match, I think, is a nice effect.
I can't find my acrylic block. I'm looking for it everywhere, but looks like I'm not using it today. This is another one of my favorite stamps out of, and it's just this little one, but it creates some really cool marks. And then this one. All right. I'm going to bring in, now what I am going to bring my my sprays back, and I'm going to go with that might even bring this copper in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some onto my mat here with my brush because the nozzle's not working. So I'm putting some on my mat. Not too much because I don't want it to be, I'll probably use a bit too much there. And then I'm going to use this stamp, and it's writing, so I'm making sure it's the right way. And I'm going to stamp with my magicals. So I don't need it to say anything, and in fact that says nothing at all because I put too much on there, but that's okay. It's just giving the marks that I want, which is cool. Baby wipe it off your stamps. Same as acrylic paint, you want to get it off your stamps. All right, now one of these I've got a crazy idea about. I don't know if it'll work, but we'll see. So I have this guy lying around. I think it is a Scrap Effects dude. And obviously Scrap Effects are gone now, but I know there's stencils that you can get, and I'm pretty sure Dina Wakely has stencils out at the moment. But what I'm going to do, and I think I need my puppy training pad. He's a bit big, but that's okay. Puppy training pad's coming back out. And as is my protector of all things. And I'm going to grab out, and I'm hoping this works, my black spray.
Oh.
And I'm going with Midnight Rendezvous Raven, which is a starburst, so it does have the shimmer. Now this is where my hands are going to get dirty. So I wonder if no, that's definitely the way he goes. So I'm going to use him as a bit of a mask. Oh, well that leaked in there.
Oh.
I'm hoping that didn't. Oh yeah, it still works. Oh, I don't know if that's going to work, but let's see how we go. My fingers are going to be very, very, very black. All right. Holding that down there, really hoping it doesn't ruin the whole thing and sliding under him. But if it does, it's all good. It's all
That's
good.
right. It's exactly right.
And because he's chipboard, that is soaking straight into him, and he's almost dry. I might soak a bit of this that's pooling around him. But you get where I'm going with this.
That's going to look really dynamic, Naomi.
I hope so.
Mm.
Or it's going to look really
Black.
special. Really black.
Really black.
I mean, you can see the copper and stuff coming through. Exhibit A, there's my black finger. Yay, it worked.
Oh, that looks great.
Now I've got him to use, except for that little fingerprint, on something else, or I can just keep spraying him until I finish using him as a mask. All right, I'm going to dry that off and move this back to the ground. I need two hands to do that.
I've added some coloured stamping with my archival coloured ink. So now I'm just going in with some black stamping. I'm using a combination of Funky Fossil stamps and Natalie May stamps. I always really love any kind of typography. So I like words or phrases or sayings. So I've added one of Nat's. I think it's is it called Buds of May, Naomi?
Which one's that?
The flowery stamp set.
Yep.
Yeah, the
That's
Buds of May set, which is, yeah, beautiful set. And then I've just used some of the saying, good things come to those who hustle, and done sort of the technique down the side where you have the first print and then you keep printing but going off the page. So it sort of helps drag your eye across the page. And I've done it in the 3 there with the beautiful, one of the beautiful flowers at the bottom. Now I'm using a funky fossil stamp and it's called Mini Grunge Alpha. I always like to have some sort of lettering or words or phrase or saying just to sort of frame my tag on this one. And then on my last tag, I'm going to use my absolute favourite word letter stamp of all time. And it is called Won't Let You Down. And it is a Natalie May stamp. And as you can see, mine is very, very well loved.
Oh, I don't know what I'm doing next. Yes, I do. Oh, damn. I was going to use this funky fossil Stella paste, which I might still do. The funky fossils black tie Stella paste.
Oh,
it's
the Stella paste, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll put it onto this tag. Thank you. Bless you.
Bless you. That's my husband. You all needed to hear that.
Sorry.
Right. Just gonna pick up that excess liquid that's on there. And I am going to use this. Now I've started my 3rd tag. God, I'm very indecisive tonight. I'm going to use this Stella paste. Now, this has got, it's black tie colour, so it's got a gold shimmer, but it's black paste. Treat it like these pastes come in 2s. Can't remember what this one comes in. But treat it like a texture paste. Get it off your stencils and stamp straight away.
I think the black one comes with a red.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I've just got them all in the tub there, so I have no idea what comes with what these days. But you need to get it off your thing straight away. Just like, ooh, yeah. See, that's why I want to use that. Oh, my heater's just cranked on. I'm having a hottie at the same time. That's delightful. So these are really cool to add a bit of texture afterwards onto your projects, and dry just like a texture paste, but it's got the shimmer in it. This is my kind of glitter because it doesn't go everywhere. And I'll bring that up to camera in a second, but I'm just going to wipe it off my stencil, put my palette knife in the water, straight in the water, and I will just wipe this straight off because it will dry like glue. Glitter glue, even worse.
Glitter glue, yeah.
All right, I'm normally more prepared for Father's Day and have cards done, but I think I've had lots of boy birthdays lately that I've used all my grungy cards. I normally use my dead people on them. I don't know if they appreciate that because some of them don't really do crafting, but that's what it is. All right, so I've got this one here is nearly done, so I will finish this one off. I've got some cuttables as well, and I've got some of this guy. So he was Boy Wonder, I think.
Oh yeah, the steampunk. I love them.
Punk Boy Wonder, and I don't have many left, and I've named mine. This is what happened when I was sick. I got so bored on the couch that I sat and cut up all my cuttables, and then I'd put them in bags.
Well done.
So yeah, so these dragonflies would also go cool on here. Actually, that one goes really cool on there.
Does.
It does.
I'm using that set to do the Uniquely Creative Folio. Yeah, I'm doing a bit of a steampunky one using those cuttables. And lots of brown.
Lots of brown.
Lots of brown.
I'm doing Alice, of course.
Of course.
All right, I'm going to use this one. Now, this has got a bit of white that I really couldn't be bothered cutting out. So just to get rid of that starkness of white, I'm just going to grab my walnut stain. And we've still got people watching us.
We do.
Little.
Yeah.
I'm just going to...
Hey, Peggy. And Jackie and Alison's joined.
Oh, mine's not catching up.
Oh.
It's
a bit late to the
someone must have
party, Wendy. That's all right.
Oh, I saw Wendy. My last one is Susan. That's okay. So I'm just using my finger with a bit of that walnut stain, and I'm just going over those white bits where I haven't cut the white out, just to take the starkness out. Oh, you're still here, Linda and Kathy. You're watching too. Thank you, ladies. Oh, I've got a few of you still. We are still going. What time have we got?
Oh, I'm actually not sure.
It's 9 o'clock. We're just on an hour.
We're doing all right,
and
then.
That's good because we're starting to wrap up anyway.
Yeah.
Not completely, but getting there. Right, we're on the dry side. Drink break. All right. So that's better.
Ready to glue.
So I'm going to actually stick this guy up, and I'm going to print on my Dymo Happy Father's Day, because I don't have any Happy Father's Day anythings. So that's okay. I'm going to grab my foam tape. So I'm using the Ultranew lifetime supply of foam tape, which I've had for not last retreat, one before. You're looking. Oh, and you're still, 2 Robins are still here. One Robin's looking. Are you creating, Robin? Or you're unpacking? Oh, hello, Miss Tina. How are you, my friend? Yeah, lifetime supply of foam tape. A little bit on his feet. My kids Thomas must have gone on PlayStation or something, because my smart monitor's got blurry. That's okay. I'm trying not to get distracted by what you're doing, Tegan, and I don't need to see myself. So
that was
right.
Early on. I was watching you more than doing anything.
Have you got much rain there, Tina? Oh, I'm frozen on my screen now. You're still looking too. You love the tags. Excellent. What time is it in Norway, Linda? I've lost. Are you still there, Tegan?
Are you moving?
No. Okay. It's just me that I can't see anything. I'm just going to refresh my screen.
Yeah. Thank you, Tina. Look at Naomi using brown.
I know.
1 o'clock in the daytime, said Linda.
Oh, okay. Well,
Nice afternoon. All right, I've got my focal pieces down. So probably one of the things that takes me the longest is deciding on a quote. I've got Nat's quotes here, which complement her mod girls really perfectly. These ladies are just dripping with sassiness, so I really like the really snarky, snassy kind of quotes.
I've run out of those because I literally use them all the time.
Yes, I use quite a few as well.
So I'm just going around the edge with black archival, and you have one sponge, which I think it's disintegrating, that I only use for black archival because it's permanent, but I use it all the time to edge things. So I don't want to keep changing my blending brush. That's going to have permanent ink on it. I don't use my little color ones with these. Yeah, it's definitely disintegrating. Might need to put that one in the bin. But just giving that frame has given that a little bit of extra something. And I'm pretty happy with that one. I think that one's done. I'll put a little ribbon or something through that and put Happy Father's Day. They're not getting cards today. Or I might even put that on a card front, actually. That could do that as well. All right, I'm going to go back to this one.
I loved that one, Naomi. That was awesome.
Yeah, it did. My vision turned out, which isn't always the case. Now I'm going to get a white Stabilo pen. Now, I feel like his head's a bit special, so I'm going to get my little man back in. We've got a bit of a bleed happening there. And I'm just going to trace.
Some minor surgery.
Give him his nose and his chin back. Yeah, that's better. The rest I can really make out. So just make sure that your magicals are completely dry when you're using your paint pens, like all substrates, you will ruin them. And this might be on its last legs as I go down the man's pants who doesn't have legs. So
all right, I found my first quote.
Oh, what does it say?
When people suck the life out of you, wouldn't it be nice if they took some fat too?
Yeah. I love them. I'm swapping pens. That one's seen better days.
These, yeah, gel pens. Oh, my kingdom for an awesome white gel pen, right?
Well, who does?
I've got a couple of different ones. Are you using the Uniball?
Yeah.
Yeah, I find they're really good for the first couple of uses, but they die off really quickly. Whoop.
Yeah. I use this one for Uniball. I found it to be probably the best gel pen that I've found. I haven't tried other ones, but sometimes paint pens aren't. If you're using magicals, a paint pen will change the color more than a gel pen will.
Yes.
So unless I'm okay with the color changing and I didn't want white, this one I particularly wanted to bring the white in. So unless I didn't want the white, I would. Oh yeah, that one's good too.
Yeah,
I've used that one before.
Yeah, Jelly Roll 10 it's called. I got this from Officeworks. It's not terrible either, but I tend to go for the Uniball ones as well, because they got the two different sizes as well. The size they've got the
I get most of the same size every time.
Well, they've got the broad and the thin, so I like that.
Yeah,
but now, they are definitely the best gel pens.
Oh yeah, you can see my stamping through there, so you can still see my marks through that, which is cool. I'm still thinking I might want to bring a bit of white in, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab this stamp. I was going to use a bit of this Seth after. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Hang on a minute. I've just had a thought. Hold that thought. So this is a Paper Artsy tissue paper, and this is a Seth Apter vintage one. It's literally a lifetime supply, really, of tissue paper because there's so much that you get. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some glue. I don't want to use gel medium. If I use gel medium on here, it's going to really reactivate the magicals, and I don't really want that too much. This will, oh god damn it, it's clogged. It's because I had it sitting up the wrong way. Damn glue. Right. Yeah, I don't really want it to be completely see-through because I'll lose the white that I'm trying to bring in. So I'm just gonna put a bit of glue there, and then like that on there. So gel medium will reactivate your magicals or your sprays a little bit.
Yes.
So if that's not what you're wanting to do, so if I put gel medium over here, there wouldn't be much white on this. It's quite lumpy because I put a little bit of glue. I'm going to straighten that out. Being very careful because it's tissue paper. Yeah, so that part would be like it would take on the black with the gel medium.
So that's just regular glue then instead of the gel medium. That's clever.
Yeah, I've used the art glitter glue, which it was upside down. I don't know what I did there. I'm just going to dry that quickly because I don't want to touch it while it's wet.
So I've just got some quotes and just some sort of final touches. I'll probably give mine a bit of a grungy border. I do like my style's a bit more grungy. And I'll probably use a Stabilo oil to go around my focal pieces and give it some depth with some shading and some shadowing. And I'll possibly add some white splatters as well, I think, Naomi.
Yeah. I might even add some white splatters to this right now. Good idea. So with white splatters on magicals and sprays, I keep saying magicals, but that's because I use magicals most of the time. You don't want to use gesso. You want to use acrylic paint. And my little splash bowl here, aka dip bowl. So you want to make your wash up, although you can get, I've got a gesso that's a liquid text one, so it's quite runny, but your gesso will take on the color of your, and yeah, acrylic paint can too, but your gesso will definitely take on the color of your sprays, whereas and I will use this spray. So I'm trying to talk and do two things at once, and I'm looking for something. So there we go. Whereas the acrylic paint, it may, particularly with the, look at this little brush I got from Nat. I bought this the other day, and it's so cute. Yeah. But the acrylic paint it's more likely to hold its own. So, yeah. So I'm just, where's that man gone? Where's that man? Hello, man.
Find the man.
Find the man. He's on the floor. So I'm just gonna, oh yeah, look at that. I love that little brush.
Oh wow.
Gives a good splatter.
I've got a very, very cheap splatter brush. I need to get a better one.
This was really, it wasn't very expensive at all. I mean, it's from Nat, so it's a cute little brush. I saw it and was like, I've been waiting for that. And my man's getting a bit of a, my other man, my cardboard man, he's getting a bit of a, my cardboard man, he's getting a bit of a good go there too. So I think that's okay because I'm going to add a quote to that. So, and I even might add a bit of a white trim border, but I won't do that while it's wet. But why I've got this, and I'm nearly done, so we can probably nearly wrap up. So that's nearly dry, that texture paste, which is pretty cool. I might use a different brush, and I might use this acrylic paint with a bit more water. Let's see if I can get a run happening.
So, while Naomi's getting her run on over there, for my white splatters, I'm going to actually use the Dina Wakley white gloss spray and an incredibly cheap Kmart splatter brush, of which I need to upgrade, obviously, to the one that Naomi's using. So, I don't want to give my focus girls any kind of poxy looking disease, so I'll just get some paper towels so I can cover them. I don't mind if I get them on my quotes, that's okay. Give this a good shake. So I like using the gloss spray because it gives it a bit of a glossy effect, considering I've used the flat Lindy sprays, and I will give some depth to my focal pieces with some Stabilo wool, but this will just give it another bit of another texture and just another piece of interest.
And bring balance.
And
white brings balance.
Certainly does.
All right, let's got some good dripping on there, and then I'll splatter at the bottom. Alrighty. My other focal point that focal piece that I did have out for these was dead people. You know, dead people, cute but dead. Bit of a dead person. I feel like this packet never ends, but you know, or maybe I might use that dragonfly actually.
Yeah, that'll look really nice.
And these dragonflies, I cut bits off them because I don't have patience. Yeah, I like that one. That one's pretty cool too. Well, that one's a bit bigger, so I might use. What else we got? I'm wondering if I can layer these. Oh, hang on, I've got some babies. I've done some babies too.
Little ones, little bubbies.
Yeah, I don't like cutting those.
No. Especially the steampunky ones. They've got some really fine details.
Yeah, I cut them off.
Yeah.
I'm not a fussy cutter.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same.
I'm sure Kerry Ann's done a beautiful job with cutting hers.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to use that, and just to do that same thing with these, there's way too much white there, so I'm just going to use my finger and just kind of smudge and get rid of that stark white. So that's how lazy people get rid of their stark white bits.
Instead of fussy cutting them with detail.
Fussy cutting them.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I think I've just got to do a little bit of stamping on that one, and I've done 3 then, I think. I'm just going to dry these really quickly, and then I'm nearly done. So we've
also nearly done.
Well, we timed that well. Look at that.
We did.
So some of this splatter that I have done on here has, like, it's blended in with the background. The bits on top of the tissue paper obviously is a bit brighter, but it's still, you can see the white splatters over the top of that black magical. That's probably black spray. That's probably my favorite spray that I use is the black. I use it for splatters. I use it for, you know, if I want to do a bit of dripping or something on my page in black. I often use my black Midnight Rendezvous Raven. I don't know what set it's from or if it comes individually. There's so many Lindies that I have a lot of them.
That is a really awesome name.
Yes. I'm glad I picked things that I can pronounce this time. There's a couple that I still are tongue twisters for me. I just cannot. Nah. I'm like, why did I pick that colour on a live? I have to say it. Or on a video. Yes. All right, I'm just going to add a little bit of. So this sparkle paste has taken on that acrylic paint, which is interesting. So some of those are, you know, half acrylic white and half shimmer paste.
Oh yeah.
Which is, yeah, a bit different. So I'm just going to do a little bit of stamping just to bring all that together, just with a bit of black archival. And I'm going over my texture paste. I'm going over my Stella paste. This one's a very textury one. It's got Stella paste, texture paste.
I think instead of white splatters for my last one, I'm going to go in with my Classy Dotty stamp.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's quite a bit of white in the background of this tag already. So I think I'm just going to do a little bit more mark making stamping. Not too much. Maybe just above the flowers.
Right, that one's going to go there. And I've just had an idea to add to my man. Because, you know.
Your cardboard man?
Yep. Oh no, the other one. Oh, maybe I could do it on both actually. My cardboard man. I'm going to use some of my fluoro Gina Wakely
oh yeah,
gloss drop thingies.
Yeah, good idea.
And I'm going to get some fluoro on him. All right, so I'm going to lift that up.
Splatters, do you think, with the fluoro?
Yeah. I'm going to splatter.
Nice.
Oh, I don't think I'm going to use the baby anymore unless I set him. Nah, baby's gone. Bye, baby. And I will need to finish this one off. I'll finish this one off first with that black. Oh, you know, my black archival ink that I'll put over right next to me. And, of course, my Happy Father's Day quotes will go on there. So, you know, we haven't reinvented any wheels here tonight, ladies. We've just used some magicals in a different way. So, just to recap, I've used, the sprays, the Lindy sprays. I have used mine as a spray. I've used them as pop my paintbrush into them and use them as a paint. And I've used them through texture paste as well. And I've stamped with them too, and I've stamped with stencils. So there's lots of different ways for you to use them.
And I've done some more simpler techniques and tags. So I've used the stencils for spraying through the stencils and then using that to do a stamp as well, and then layering up with some of the different colours.
All right, so I've had this idea because I've got this gnarly gloss, and I think this one's just screaming for a bit of it. So I'm going to put this guy back over here. It's kind of got a bit of a night sky thing happening. And I'm going to pop the dropper aside, and I'm going to get that little brush back out. I'm going to dry it. And then I'm going to stick it straight in that bottle.
Oh, Tina said they've had lots of winds and they really need some rain.
Oh, thank you. I can't see any comments.
No, that's all right.
I can see us
and
now, but that's all I've got.
She can never find a man when she needs him either.
I knew you'd pick up on that one, Tina. So some of that, I'm really getting onto this guy because actually maybe I'll hold his feet. I'm holding my man by his feet. And some of that's going, like it's taking on some of the colour. So I've got a bit of a neon blue green happening, but I've also got a bit of the colour of the yellow as well. So, and that will dry with a bit of a gloss. So that, and that man's going to go on something. All right,
Yeah.
so I'll bring that up and just show you a bit closer. I'll just wait for the camera to. So although this looked quite ugly when I was doing it, I knew what I was going to do with it. So it didn't matter where I put things, and he looks quite cool. So I could put a bit of a semic white writing through them, but there's going to be a Happy Father's Day in white down the bottom there. And yeah, so I will finish these off and take some photos and pop them up.
I will do the same. Susan's asked, can we expect to see some more classy tag books soon? I have got a massive stack of tags. Let me just grab them real quick. And I just need to put them into books, Susan. So I think I shared a photo of them recently. I've just got stacks and stacks of them.
You do.
But
Oh my God.
I've worked out what I want in my books.
God.
I just need to, put them together. Look, there's another mod girl. Yes, I need to stop making tags and start making books, Susan. You can hold me accountable.
I've got a stack of them up there. What else have I got? I've got my Stamperia one I did.
Oh, is that the Africa one?
Yeah, that one's, I love this one, but it is falling apart, so I need to rethink the design of it. Might need Nat to make me some chipboard to go with it, but it doesn't open, like it's old, so it doesn't open well. I love the giraffes. It's like,
that was
like looking through a trip to Africa. It was a bucket list trip I had one time, but yeah, this part here is, I can feel it pulling apart there.
Yeah.
So have to rethink the design of the tag book, but I do. Tammy's one we did at retreat is still in one piece. And I did do, what did I do an Art by Marlene one for? I did an Art by Marlene one as well. Maybe I'll remind myself here. So this is my, again, the cover is leaving a lot to be desired. Oh, was this the, no, yeah, this is the one that's falling apart, see?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's pulled right out.
This was, no, I think I just did it. No reason, just did it. So I will have to fix that one because that's painful. It doesn't really come off my shelf, but still. Yes, so watch your space because we will try. Oh, I like that, Tegan. Yeah, tag books galore. I would love to have a template for, or that I can make. I need to come up with one. So thank you, ladies, for watching us.
Yes.
And Matt and Ian. For our first joint live, I had fun. I think it's cool watching different people, different artists do different things with the same products. So you can pick your style or pick pieces of different things that you like from each of us, and I'm sure we'll probably do a couple more joint ones again in the future. So
absolutely.
Thanks for joining me, Tegan.
Thank you for having me and babying me through my first go.
Yeah. And I can't see any comments, so thank you everyone for joining us, and good night.
Night.
Bye. Just trying to end here.